पूर्व भारतीय टेनिस खिलाड़ी सोमदेव देववर्मन ने थाने पश्चिम स्थित श्रीमती सिंघानिया स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी का उद्घाटन फीता काटकर किया। सुलोचन देवी सिंघानिया स्कूल देश में खेल शिक्षा को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अपने 50 वर्ष पूरे होने पर इस तरह का भव्य कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया। तो आइए सुनते हैं इस मौके पर इन लोगों ने क्या कुछ कहा, ये आपको सुनाते हैं।
Kids don't believe that the education can go hand in hand with sport, right? So most of the people that I mentioned that are ranked outside 50, or the 50 people that are ranked outside of the top guys, most of them don't really want to do college, or most of them don't want to pursue education. I, for one, my parents really instilled it in me they made sure that I got a full college degree before I stepped on the tour. So I only stepped on tour a lot later than most people. And I actually think that there's a lot of there's a lot of value in that. I think Indian children can start looking at getting scholarships abroad, going to college tennis, and continuing their tennis over there, keeping in mind that there is a life after tennis as well, and that's something to look after and protect and grow. So pros and cons to the transition tour. I think it's going to really hurt in the beginning. But in the end, towards the end, I think a lot of the junior players that are between 17 and 19 who are taking that decision to whether to go pro or whether to turn pro immediately or to go to college for 4 years and then turn pro, I think that will become a lot simpler for them, because nobody wants to be on a transition tour for 4 years, So I think, I actually think that for Indian players, it's going to be a good thing in the long run if they treat it the correct way.
How much of additional onus does that put on ITA to plan events better or to get points events more?
Well, I don't know. Do you think ITA was doing things great before this?
Not really.
Yeah, so I don't think. Yeah, so it's not like they were doing things amazingly, and now because of this system, it's going to get shut down. I think they had a lot of things to improve any which way. And if anything, this gives them more clarity, right? Because I think we were maybe 3 years ago we had more than 15 futures, and what did that accomplish, right? So it's not just about for me, it's not just about having tournaments. It's about having the right tournaments, and it's more about having a vision and having a structure in order to reach that vision. You can't just randomly have tournaments and then think that you're going to have world-class players if you aren't preparing your players the right way. So I think this is a good thing for ITA, because this will really give them an opportunity to reflect and see what work they're doing, and to see if they're actually creating world-class players, right? Because ITA is having a very different conversation than Spain is having right now, right? And a very different conversation than America is having or France is having. But the rule affects every country the same way. But the countries with a better system are going to benefit from this rule a lot better than a country without a system. Turkey, for example, had 50 futures. So did Egypt. What did they? What's the point of having many low-level tournaments that are organized badly? It's better to have a few great ones and work towards preparing our talent to have success at those better tournaments. I can too, as you've seen.
You spoke about the development stage of player, 17 to 19, 20 years. What is it that's missing from an Indian tennis player's perspective at the moment? Because especially when we see so many players making big on the tour from poorer nations, those from poorer backgrounds, and even strife areas and such. What is it that's missing in Indian tennis? Or is anything working?
Okay, not to sound negative, but when you look at an organization that's been run for 40, 50 odd years, and then there's many things wrong. I think it's very hard to say that if I changed one thing about tennis in India, the tennis would now succeed. I think it's a far-fetched thing, and we should be very realistic about the fact that the system is broken. So you don't fix one thing, you fix the system. So I think that begins from everywhere, from leadership to plans to vision to who's making your plans, business plans, how you market it, so I mean literally, and let's not forget coaching as well. So I think there's a lot of things that are actually missing, and I can't really point out one thing. I don't think it would be fair to point that one thing out. But the simplest way for me to say it is, I think, vision. I'm not really sure what the vision would be. See, here's the thing about professional sport, right? Is that at the highest level, countries from all over the world are trying to do their best in order to have their players succeed, right? And if we are not, for whatever reasons, whether it's political or whether it's feuds internally or whether it's management or anything else, doesn't matter what the reasons are, but if we are not doing the same things, we're going to be left behind, right? So at some point we're going to have to really look in and say, what are the mistakes we're making and how do we correct them? And this is no criticism. This is just how businesses evolve. This is how any business evolves. Any startup evolves the same way. So it's not about criticizing and figuring out who's to blame over here. It's more about constructive criticism, as any athlete would look at himself and reflect and say, these are the spaces I need to improve in. I think it's fair for any association or any organization to look at themselves the same way and say, these are the spaces we need to improve in. And I'm not sure if we're doing that. So that's really the red flag.
You're trying to do that as a government observer?
Trying.
Is it like knocking on a closed door, or?
Well, someone's knocking at least. So I mean, listen, as a government observer, my job, at least from what I understand from speaking to the minister and the other different people, is not to do anything but to try and find solutions to the problems that we're facing. I have zero vested interest. I have no interest in calling people out or any of that stuff. For me, it's all about where are we now, where do we need to be, and how do we get there. So yes, there's a lot of times that I point out things that may not be well received by people, but I think I've always tried to be honest, and I've always tried to look at problems objectively. Now remember, in order to solve a problem, you first need to recognize that there is one. And I think that's the most basic thing, at least when it comes to tennis in India. I can clearly say that we have a lot of them, but I'm not sure if we're addressing them the right way.
One last bit from me, then not just with tennis. You have been speaking, we were discussing this culture of sport in India. You spoke about business plans. Do you think it's high time the federations in India start raising their own funds rather than only rupee funds?
Yeah, no. Oh, big problem. But here's the bigger issue. Yes, they need to have their own business plans and they need to find ways to fundraise, right? But what's the point of fundraising if you don't know how to spend the funds that you raise? So, so it's not about raising $5 million. It's about what do you have now and make the best use of it. And if you do raise $5 million, how do you spend it? Where do you allocate it? And what are the spaces and areas that are of importance, that need attention? And who are the right people who are in those spaces? So I think it's a lot more than just, listen, funds has never been the key to having success in sports. It really hasn't, right? I guarantee you Kenya doesn't have the best marathon funding in the world. I'm sure they don't. In fact, I'm sure Brazil doesn't have the best soccer funding in the world. But they have systems, they have a culture. And through that culture, special things are built, So I think it's much more than just money. Yes, funding is required. Yes, infrastructure is required. But so are a lot of other things. So is the importance of understanding. I personally, for one, don't believe that we will ever be a top sporting nation unless, as a country, we start becoming healthier. I just don't see. I think that there's a parallel there, and as we start becoming more of a sporting nation, we will start seeing the health index of India improve alongside, and that just has to be. Personally, I've always believed that the top-down approach is not the only way to do it. For example, TOPS funding or Khelo India funding. while I'm very appreciative of the government's efforts, that's a great sign that we've started. I think improvement needs to be in sense, not look at the two top athletes and fund them, but actually try and figure out why they're 2 instead of 25. And why don't we create a system where there's 25 instead of 2? And I think if we start doing that consistently over a longer period of time, that's how you're going to actually find success. And that's actually what success should mean. It's not about having 2 guys. Like in my opinion, Switzerland is not a more successful tennis nation than Spain, right? Although I'm sure they've won more Grand Slams because Roger and Stan have won a lot of Grand Slams. But if you look at what Spain and France have done over the last 20 years, that's special. They've had, at any given time, more than 10 people in the top 100 in men and women over a long period of time, and they continue to bring those people in. And Switzerland has obviously not done that, although they've had Hingis, Roger Federer, Stan Wawrinka. So I think, you know, the idea of overall success should be very important, but the vision towards working towards that is also very important. Time will tell. It's a highly expensive thing. You know, I think it's over 3 billion over 20 years, if I'm not right, by Cosmos, right, which is a PK's investment fund. So yeah, I think obviously if they can live up to those promises, nothing like it. But I think in the recent history, at least, we've all seen multiple leagues that have promised massive funding that have failed after 2 years, and then the owners and the investors kind of moved on. I would hate to see that happen because the Davis Cup is a over 100-year-old historical tournament, and you know, a lot of countries have really benefited from it. Yes, there will be a lot of home and away matches, I guess, through the year, which was a big complaint earlier on. Yes, there will be increase in prize money tenfold, if not more than that. I think the first round for the World Group is over 600,000. So that's a huge bonus for a lot of players, countries, nations. I think a lot of nations will get a lot of funding as well. So it's early to tell. Personally, I wasn't a big fan of changing a massive part of tennis history. I mean, Davis Cup is arguably one of the biggest tennis events in the world, apart from the 4 Grand Slams. So I wasn't a big fan of that. Personally, also having had many Davis Cup experiences, both home and away. But if the financial situation goes as per plan, I think it'll be very beneficial. So time will tell. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Sodev Raman was here, and he has been talking to children. बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि एक यंग टेनिस प्लेयर, इंटरनेशनली रिनाउंड टेनिस प्लेयर, अपने सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस को छोटे बच्चों के साथ शेयर करते हैं. उनके मन में जो भी विचारधारा आती है और प्रश्न उठते हैं उसका जवाब देते हैं, और बहुत ही पेशेंस के साथ दिया उन्होंने, और अपने एक्सपीरियंस को बहुत ही इलैबोरेट करते हुए बहुत ही बढ़िया तरीके से उन्होंने बच्चों को समझाया कि गेम क्या होती है और स्पोर्ट क्यों डेवलप होना है. मुझे लगता है कि इनको सुनते ही बच्चे बहुत ही उत्सुक भी थे और प्रोत्साहित भी हो जाएंगे कि उनको एक स्पोर्ट्स के लिए जो इम्पोर्टेंस देना है वो देना है. सिंघानिया स्कूल में हमारा यही हुआ है कि हमेशा कि ये पॉलिसी हुई है कि बच्चों का ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एकेडमिक में तो अच्छे करते ही हैं, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ स्पोर्ट्स और कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज़ में भी इक्वल इम्पोर्टेंस देना चाहिए, और बच्चों को जो अच्छा लगे उनको वहाँ पे अपना जो नेतृत्व है और अपनी जो कला है उसका प्रदर्शन करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. मुझे ये लगता है कि हर सिंघानिया के बच्चे को हम सिलोनियन बोलते हैं, और हर सिलोनियन को ये याद रखना चाहिए कि जब वो बड़े भी हो जाते हैं, कहीं और जाते हैं, हम उनको ऐसे फैसिलिटीज़ दें स्कूल में कि उनको लगे कि कहीं ना कहीं उनका जो फाउंडेशन है वो ले हो चुका है. तो उसकी वजह से हमने ये जो स्पोर्ट्स फैसिलिटी स्टार्ट किया है स्पोर्ट्स इग्नाइट के साथ, ये टेनिस है, टेबल टेनिस है, बास्केटबॉल है, ये सब सिंथेटिक एक्रेलिक कोर्ट्स हैं, जिससे कि बच्चों को एक स्टेप आगे स्पोर्ट्स में और भी इंटरेस्ट आएगी मेरे ख्याल से। जब फैसिलिटीज़ अच्छे हैं तो बच्चों को लगता है कि और ट्राई करें, और हमारे बच्चे बहुत अच्छा करते हैं स्पोर्ट्स में, तो मैं उसको एक्चुअली एक बढ़ापा देना चाहती हूँ। मैं चाहती हूँ कि वो आगे जाए उसमें और अपना नाम कमाए, नॉट जस्ट एट द स्टेट लेवल बट एट द नेशनल एंड द इंटरनेशनल लेवल। तो हमारी पूरी उम्मीद है कि ऐसे फैसिलिटीज़ और ऐसे जब इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स आके बच्चों के साथ बात करते हैं तो उनको बहुत इंकरेजमेंट मिलती है और इंस्पायर होते हैं। और मिस्टर सोमदेव का तो इन हिज यूथ, he is absolutely in his youth, so I think children were highly inspired, highly motivated, और आज का कार्यक्रम बहुत ही सक्सेसफुल था। थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस्टर सोमदेव फॉर कमिंग इन हियर एंड टॉकिंग टू आवर चिल्ड्रन, क्योंकि हम जो फैसिलिटीज़ दे रहे हैं वो अपनी तरफ से दे रहे हैं ताकि बच्चों को लगे कि मैं ये सब यहाँ पे स्कूल में करना है, क्योंकि ये जो सीख होती है ये होता है एक्चुअली फाउंडेशन लेवल उनके आगे की लाइफ के लिए, चाहे वो प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट्स में जाए या नहीं, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उनको लाइफ में कोई स्पोर्ट तो खेलना ही है। तभी वो फिटनेस की बात आती है, एक बार डिसिप्लिन की बात आती है, लाइफ स्किल्स का जो बात करते हैं वो सब स्पोर्ट्स ही देते हैं। तो स्पोर्ट्स रिस्पॉन्स तो बहुत ही बढ़िया था, पूरा स्कूल आना चाहता था, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा जगह नहीं है जहाँ मैं पूरा 7,000 बच्चों को लेके खड़ा करूँ, तो इसीलिए मैंने छोटा सा ग्रुप लिया और वॉलंटियरिंग ग्रुप लिया जो स्पोर्ट्स में ऑलरेडी बहुत ही एक्टिव है, जो स्टेट लेवल प्लेयर्स है या नेशनल लेवल प्लेयर्स है या डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल प्लेयर्स है, उनको बोला कि आप आ जाएंगे, क्योंकि अभी के लिए तो अकोमोडेशन उतना ही है। मैं चाहती हूँ कि मिस्टर सोमदेव वापस आए हमारे स्कूल में और हमारे बाकी जो 6,900 बच्चे बैठे हैं स्कूल में उनको भी ऐसा अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले जिससे कि हम मतलब बच्चे सुने, और जो बच्चे अभी स्पोर्ट में तैयार नहीं हैं वो भी तैयार होके उठ के दौड़े। मैं चाहती हूँ कि वी बिकम अ वेरी फिट नेशन, वी बिकम अ स्पोर्टी नेशन, एंड आई वांट कोई भी सिलोनियन अभी तो नेशनल लेवल्स में आ गए हैं, आई वांट देम टू अटेन द ओलंपिक्स, दैट्स माय एम। एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दे शुड डू वेल at the international arena. Thank you. Thank you.
नाम हीरो स्वरूप है, स्पोर्ट्स इग्नाइट के फाउंडर हूँ मैं। आज यहाँ पे सिंघानिया स्कूल में हमने एक नया इनॉग्रेशन दिखा है, नए टेनिस कोर्ट और न्यू स्पोर्ट्स फैसिलिटीज़ का, और इसके ओपनिंग के लिए हमने मिस्टर सोमदेव देवरमन, जो इंडिया के फॉर्मर नंबर 1 टेनिस प्लेयर है, उनको बुलाया है इनकी ओपनिंग के लिए। ये इसलिए कि ताकि बच्चे इनसे इनकरेज हुए, इनसे काफ़ी सारे इनकी जो करियर रही है इतनी सक्सेसफुल वो उनसे सीख सके। और इससे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि सिंघानिया स्कूल ने उनके बच्चों के लिए इतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटी बनाई है जो बहुत ही ज़रूरी है एक स्कूल लेवल पे, एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल की फ़ैसिलिटी बनाना। काफ़ी सारे स्कूल्स को इतने अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिलते नहीं है, जबकि सिंघानिया स्कूल के पास इतनी अच्छी फैसिलिटी हो के वो अपने बच्चों को एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल की ट्रेनिंग एज वेल एज़ फैसिलिटीज़ के साथ उनको अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ दे सके। स्पोर्ट्स इग्नाइट यहाँ पे सिंघानिया स्कूल के साथ जॉइंट वेंचर में इन बच्चों को प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग देने की सोच रखता है, और साथ ही साथ हमें सपोर्ट के लिए हमने मिस्टर सोमदेव देवरमन हमें सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं उनके NGO के थ्रू, लाइफ इज़ अ बॉल, जहाँ पे स्पोर्ट्स इग्नाइट बियॉन्ड स्कूल के बच्चे, जो सिंघानिया स्कूल के बच्चे हैं, जो दूसरे अंडर प्रिविलेज बच्चे हैं, उनको भी इसी टर्फ पे, इसी सिंथेटिक कोर्ट्स पे टेनिस के खेलने की अपॉर्चुनिटी देंगे। यहाँ पे मिस्टर सोमदेव जी हमें थ्रू आउट द ईयर गाइड करेंगे कि लाइफ इज़ अ बॉल के थ्रू कैसे हम अंडर प्रिविलेज बच्चों की खेल की तरफ सोच बदल सकते हैं, उनकी लाइफ कैसे बेहतर कर सकते हैं।